On this episode of RCKicks, we're diving into the new FTX Zorro Brushless trophy truck. So stay tuned. I've also got the brushed version. Hi and welcome to RCKicks. On today's show, well, we're diving into this beast, the new brushless offering by FTX. It's absolutely chunky. Look at it, it's a bit like me. First impressions, I kind of like it. I've had a bit of a nose and I've been taking some notes and things like that to run through. But the reason I got this was I was so happy with the Vantage 2.0 from FTX. It kind of unlocked the door for me to go, oh, I'll try one of these and see what this is like. So I picked this one up and it arrived yesterday. Now, I'm sorry to say I have been on holiday for a week. That's why it's been so quiet on the show. But we're back at it and there is tons of content coming. So what can I tell you about this trophy truck? Well, it is brushless and it comes with a Lipo and everything you need to get you up and running apart from charging the battery. It comes with a transmitter, receiver, ESC, brushless motor, 2S Lipo, Lipo charger, Lipo bag, and everything you need to get you going. Part number FTX555770W, 1/10, retails in the UK for £229 was the best price I could find on it this morning when I checked. I'll put below what that is in other currencies. The transmitter that comes with it is pretty standard stuff. It's actually a good looking thing and it fits in my hand personally very well, and I like the sleekness of it. I have had one of these before. Flip this up and then you have all your configurations like you normally see, reversing your channels and that kind of stuff. Some things I'd like to see on this, it would be nice if it was foam around here instead of the hard plastic. That's probably the biggest downside to this transmitter, but it does feel nice in the hands and it will get you by. It would be nice as well as if you could actually turn down the motor power so that if you're going to hand it to somebody else you could actually dial it back. That's very handy, especially if you're going to be giving this to youngsters. The kit also comes with its own Lipo charger. This one came with an English power supply connector and you've got 2S and 3S charging capability. Pretty standard, you don't have to do anything but connect up your battery, plug it in, and then it will do it all for you. Nice and simple, gets you going. And it was nice to see that they threw in a Lipo bag to go with it when you're charging your Lipo. It did come with a Lipo warranty information as well as a full-blown manual, which is great to see, with a full breakdown of everything you need to strip it down, maintain it, that kind of stuff, replace any broken parts, a list of all the parts and what their part numbers are so you can source them. Finding parts for this is pretty easy and very quick. A lot of the stock is actually in the UK, so there's no long waits. I like that. Also, there's a lot more upgradable parts. One thing I've noticed with FTX is they do tend to move parts from one chassis to the next. So upgrade parts usually work on at least 2 to 3 different cars, making them more available. And it also keeps the prices down and makes them easier to find. So let's crack it open and take a look at what you get for your money. One thing that would have been nice is being on a trophy truck like this, instead of having standard pins, it would be nice to have them fixed in situ. That's really handy when you're out in the field and things get a bit dirty. Picking these off and then dropping them on the grass, whereas having a little rubber mounting them to the body, that would be a nice upgrade. As you can see, you've got the full frame underneath. For some reason, this one seems to have picked up a little bit of the backing when it went through the water for some reason. Normally these are just totally black, but on the outside it's exactly how you expect it, so I think that's just a bit of an anomaly on this particular car. After you remove the body, the first thing you note is just how adjustable this is straight out of the box. You get anti-roll bars, which is an option extra on some of the lower kits, already fitted front and rear. You can adjust all your suspension positioning, rebound rates. Also, you've got droop on the front and rear that can be adjusted. Bearings throughout. You can adjust your toe in, your toe out, your camber, all done straight from the box. Also, you get some upgraded parts like the top deck is in aluminium, and you also get metal front and rear arm mounts, which is really good to see, as that's what I broke on my Vantage 2.0 when I accidentally smashed a X-Max into it, and they come as standard on this kit. Now when we look at the electronics, kicking off with the ESC, it's an 80 amp waterproof Dean's connector 2 to 3S ESC, and it will get the job done for you, so a perfect match for this buggy. And partnering the 80 amp ESC is a 3655 brushless motor at 2900 kV with an external fan fitted. The steering servo is a waterproof ESR-2 Sport 9 kg with metal gears. Pretty much everything is waterproof apart from the receiver, but that is mounted inside a box. That's just splash proof. It's an IPX4 rating, 3.5 to 8.4 volts. It's a 1D04135, and it's got an inbuilt antenna, which is really nice. One thing that was a bit of a surprise is they've mounted it in a box to again protect it. Being that it's got an internal aerial, the waterproof box actually has a hole in the top for the aerial, and then there's two big holes in the side of the box as well. So you could improve the water resistance of this buggy by plugging that hole and then maybe trying to fill some of the holes on the side where the wires come out, as the holes are quite large, so water can definitely get into this box. So that's probably something I would look at doing if you're going to be pushing this through lots of mud and water and things like that. The rear and front bumper are very flexible. That's exactly what you want to see. When you pile into things that you know that it's going to dissipate some of the energy through the flex of the plastics, instead of being too rigid and then just breaking something. Now, as for the battery, it's a 2S Lipo battery. It's held in place by Velcro, so very standard, easy to upgrade to a 3S if you wanted to. Now, on the box, it actually said it was a 3200 milliamp, but for some reason I have a 3250 milliamp hour. Not that that makes a great deal of difference, but it was different to the actual box. It's a 20C 7.4 volt hard case, which is nice to see, with the Dean's connector. Now this obviously comes with it, but you can obviously put 2S or 3S batteries in it, and being that it's Velcro, you've got lots of options for different types of battery. So running this on 3S will be interesting. I honestly don't know whether it will handle the extra power, but we'll find out soon enough. You've got dog bones at the rear and universal shafts in the front, but again, you can upgrade to universals in the rear if you wish. Now, it's got a double prop shaft, as there is 3 diffs in this rig. You've got one at the front, one in the middle, and one at the rear. So having 3 diffs means you've got 2 main prop shafts. Now, these are dog bones, so whether you can get an upgrade for them, I honestly don't know. Now, that should make the rig handle much better over the slippery stuff. Tires feel pretty soft. I'm guessing there's some kind of foam in there, but being that they're glued, I can't open them up without cutting them to see what's inside, but it definitely feels like there's something in there. Now, I did post on the RCKicks Facebook page about anybody that has one of these and what their experiences were like, and I got predominantly 99% of the comments were very positive. I didn't really get any negatives at all, to be fair. So people say they've been out and abused them quite a lot, and it's taken it and they've really enjoyed it. So I'm looking forward to finding out for myself, but everything's looking pretty promising. Another thing that's really good to see, and I saw it on my other FTX, that they actually put Allen key bolts throughout the whole chassis. So if you're working on it, they should stand up to being removed and fitted back in again. Right, that's enough waffle. So I think what we'll do now is charge up the battery, sling on the body, and take it for a blast. Let's see how good it goes.
As I look for a better way to get through another boring
First off, we're going to do a 2S speed run. I've reset the GPS. It's a little bit noisy. There is a fan on the ESC that's putting out, sounds a bit like a Hoover, but let's see how fast it is on 2S. 24 miles an hour on 2S. So let's put a 3S in and see how much that boosts it. Right, I've now put a 3S in the car and reset the GPS. Let's see what it can do. So there you go, 3S is a bump to 37 miles per hour and it definitely comes to life. So I hope you enjoyed it. It was a bit of a blast. As you can see from the speed tests, going to 3S really does ramp up your maximum speed. 21 on 2 to 37 on 3S really brings the truck alive, and I can highly recommend it. So if you're going to get this truck, definitely want to be looking at adding a 3S battery a little bit down the line. Now, we pushed it and we abused it. We run a good few batteries through it, doing lots of jumps, and there was some damage. So I have a few tips for you before you take yours out and run it. Now, the first one is to pick up some protective film tape and put it over the arches. You will get some rubbing and it will remove some of the paint. So just to keep that body nice and spiffy and new, if you pick up some of this, you can fit it on the inside, and then when the wheel rubs, it won't remove the paint and you won't see it. Now, when you're driving flat out on 3S through the forest, you have to be a bit careful. There's lots of roots that stick up and it's very easy to just nail things flat out, and that's what I've done. Well, I think I have. I'm not sure when exactly it happened, but I seem to have damaged the front of the chassis. So what am I going to do? Well, I thought now's the perfect time to invest in upgrading to a different chassis, and then we'll take it out and blast it again. Also, I'll probably put the CNC front bulkhead part on. Now, where I was driving it, there's tons of sand and it's all piled in. So I'm also, while I'm at it, I'm going to give it a service again, and then we'll take it out and do it all again so I can break it so you don't have to. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.